Hey family, what's good? This is your girl, I'm the Bronze Goddess, and I'm actually here today to do another strawberry letter. Before I do, I want to remind you guys to check out my book. It's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. It's on CreateSpace, Amazon, and now available in Kindle format. Be sure to check it out. It's got amazing reviews and amazing feedback. I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support that you've given me, sending me your pictures, hashtagging The Dating Game, and allowing me to repost your images on my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter. I really appreciate you guys so much. And also, I cannot wait to meet you ladies on Saturday, August the 1st at my Dating with a Purpose luncheon. You guys are literally coming from all over the country. Fort Sam, Houston, Fort Wayne, Indiana. 5 of you coming from Brooklyn. Staten Island's in the house. You have Georgia, Decatur where it's greater. If you live in Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about. Decatur where it's greater. Can't wait to see you guys. South Carolina, Florida, you name it. People are coming from all over to be at this event, and I cannot wait to meet you ladies in person on Saturday, August the 1st, all right? Anyway, without any further ado, let's get started with today's letter. Let's go get them. I have a soon-to-be mother-in-law and sis-in-law, but the entire family does not like me because they do not like the fact that I'm so quiet. They wanted me to open up and talk to them and be social with them, but sorry, that's just not how I am. I'm a very quiet person, so the entire family doesn't like me since the start. My fiance and I have been together over 8 years and got engaged for a year. Last Saturday was supposed to be our wedding day, but we called it off, all because of this family drama. I'm gonna put it like that. She uses some profanity, and you guys know I don't, so I'm trying to self-edit while I'm reading this, so I apologize. How everything came to the worst because of my in-laws asked me to speak my mind, and I let it out. They wanted me to talk things out, but during the conversation they disagreed with one thing that I said, and things got heated from there. My fiance apparently thought that I was talking back, and I shouldn't have explained myself or say anything. He said that I should have just agreed with them and let them be right just to get over it. Why try reasoning for? Okay, because he thinks that I was talking back, he asked me to say sorry to them, and I refused. Mind you, this guy and I are already living with the in-law. A few days later in the week, I decided to move out, and I called his mom and said, I'm sorry but I think it's the best if I move out. I don't want to bother the family. I didn't mean to cause problems. Moving out, I think, will be best for us both. Do you know, this lady replied back to me and said, you can move out wherever you want, but he's my son and he's staying. Well, what do you know? He stayed back and let me leave by myself, and they said to him that if he would move out, they would disown him. At the time, he actually made me think that it was my fault, and that it was my fault for trying to explain myself and open up to my in-laws. I actually thought things couldn't have gotten better, so I'm gonna go ahead and summarize it from here. So anyway, she's turning 30 and she's still not married. She's depressed and disappointed. Just the worst part about it is that she loves her fiance, I think he is, if he ever marries her, but she's saying that because of the fallout that she has had with his family, he's not sure if they're ever going to get married, that maybe the best thing for them is for them to be common law husband and wife. So the writer of the letter actually ended up sending me a follow-up, and she was basically saying that she has sent her letter to a few people here on YouTube trying to get their advice, and everybody gives her the same advice, to leave him, but that's easier said than done. So what I want to do is I just kind of want to talk to you kind of candidly, and let's just, see where we end up, all right? So the first thing I want to say is, this is what happens. I want this letter to serve as a cautionary tale for all of you out there who may be entering into a relationship with a mama's boy. He is clearly, unequivocally a mama's boy. He can't do anything without mama's permission. He's not even a big boy enough to say to his mother, hey, this is the person who I've chosen. I want to marry this woman. He wants you to, like, he's scared of his own mother. He doesn't want you to talk back to her. He doesn't talk back to her. I'm not saying that I'm encouraging you to be disrespectful to your in-laws or anything like that, but you're a grown woman. And you're a grown woman, and to me, as long as you say what you have to say with respect and dignity, you should be able to say anything to anybody. Who is she that you can't say anything to her? Especially when they poked and they prodded and they begged you to speak your mind. Like, she's so quiet. Why don't she say something? And then the one time when you finally do say something, you finally do open up, they say that you're being disrespectful. See, they don't even know what they want. And the mother has him so far, like, under her thumb that he can't even leave. They say they've offered to disown him if he leaves to be with you. And so this is the relationship that you want. Like, I'm not going to tell you to leave if you don't want to leave, but I'm telling you, I need you to not just look at the past and the present, but look at the future. And imagine what your life is going to be if you actually have a baby with this guy, and the mother doesn't like the way that you raise the baby. Like, this little family, he doesn't need to marry anybody. Matter of fact, no. Who he needs to marry is his mother, because she's the #1 woman in his life. That's who he wants to be with, forsaking all others. He isn't even man enough to follow the Bible's law and to leave his mother and his father and to cleave to his wife. He could never be a husband to you. He can't even be a man to you. All he'll ever be is her son. And I'm not saying that he should be disrespectful to his mother, but there has to be a time in a man's life where he stands up for himself. And he has to let his mother know, I may be your son, but I'm not a little boy anymore. I am a grown man, and this is the woman that I've chosen. He's not even man enough to do that. I don't know why you're settling for this scraps. Like, what's the best that you'll do? You wanted to get married, and you had to call off the wedding, and now the only thing he's willing to offer you is common law. How much of your self-respect, of your dignity, do you have to sacrifice just to be with him? So now you have to give up your dream of being married. You have to give up your right to speak your mind. You have to give up like all of these different things just to be with him. And then you said he loves you? He doesn't even love you enough to stand up for you. If he can't stand up for you in your own home, stand up for you against his own mother, he definitely can't stand up for you in these here streets. He is a boy. And it pains me when I see you women trying to make a boy into a man. He has to do that. He has to decide for himself. You know what? I love her. And mama, I love you and I respect you, but this is who I chose. You're not picking somebody for me. He can't even do that. You all are settling. And I feel like to marry somebody like this one, you would be going into it with your eyes wide open. The marriage, I don't think that it's gonna be blessed. The Bible says a house divided against itself will not stand. How can two walk together unless they agree? You guys don't even agree about his mother. How are you gonna walk with this man? So you're willing to give up your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, your own mind just to be with him. You're willing to be a quiet, good little wife. You should be able to say anything you want to anyone you want to, as long as, here's the caveat, as long as you say it with respect and dignity. You shouldn't have to be like walking on eggshells in front of all of his family. So the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law, they're pulling the strings. The relationship is only big enough for 2 people, and there's 4 in it. You got you, him, his mama, and his sister, and everybody's just, here he is, just like Pinocchio, and here they are, Geppetto, just pulling his strings, telling him he sings and dances, he does whatever they tell him to do. He's not a man. This is a boy you're trying to marry. And he's not old enough to get married, not mature enough to get married. This kind of man can't lead a family. He can barely lead himself, much less you. He can't stand up for himself, but you want him to stand up for you. Coward. Absolute coward. Wasted 8 years of your life, and then he's just, the longer that you're with him, the more you have to compromise. That's why it is important for you to make these types of decisions earlier on in a relationship. That's why this luncheon that I'm having next week is so important, because a lot of times we go into with these expectations, with these Disney-like fairy tale expectations that things are going to change. You have to get certain information up front. There is no reason you should have been with this man for 8 years and you didn't see this. There were warning signs, there were red flags, but you ignored them. You thought you could change him. You thought that time would change him. You thought that a situation would change him. And he hasn't changed. A man will not change because you want him to. He will change when he is good and he is ready. Does he still have posters on his walls of his favorite bands? Like, come on, man, this is a boy that you're trying to be with. Nah. He's not mature enough to handle the type of relationship that you're demanding and requesting from him. Let him stay a mama's boy. Let him be with her. But don't you keep giving up. It pains me that you're giving up so much and you don't even see it. You couldn't make me keep quiet for nothing. Girl, you see me making these videos, I'm a married woman. What? I can say whatever I want. As long as I'm saying it respectfully. I respect my husband. I respect my marriage. I respect my in-laws. But I'm a grown woman and I should be able to say whatever I want, and trust me, I do, because I do it respectfully. But you're not just going to run over me. I'm not no little girl. You teach people how to treat you. And when you are passive and when you just let them run all over you, then that's what they did. People like this, they exploit weaknesses. They saw you as weak and they tried to eat you up. What they really want to do is they want to pick somebody for him, somebody that they like. Maybe they have their mind on his ex from high school or some other girl or a friend from church. Maybe they have somebody else in mind, but they haven't chosen you. They don't want you two together. They are sabotaging your relationship. And he's allowing it. These dudes be acting up and y'all chicks be letting them. You need to set some boundaries and say, I'm not suggesting that you give him an ultimatum, because I really don't believe in ultimatums. If the other person doesn't want to do whatever they have to do to keep you happy and to maintain the relationship, then they've already made their choice, in my opinion. You should have to be like, marry me or I'll leave, or do this or I'll leave. Like, I'm not really big into the whole ultimatum thing. If I gotta do all of that, then let me just find somebody who's willing. Like, I'm not begging nobody, hog tying nobody, pleading with nobody, grabbing somebody's ankles to get them to marry me or get them to do right. I'm not doing that. The way my self-esteem is set up, I'm not begging nobody to do anything. You're with me because you want to be. Love is an opportunity, not an obligation. You don't owe me, I don't owe you. We choose to do this. We chose each other. Quit acting like you chose me. Anyway, some of y'all get that reference. Hey! But anyway, the mother-in-law is doing the most, and she will continue to do the most because your man is doing the least. And that's just me being blunt, being honest. I would need more from him than what he's showing me. Because for the type of role that you want him to be a leader and all of that, he doesn't seem like he has it in him. He may be getting older, but he's not getting more mature. He's not getting wiser. And sometimes you have to be the one that got away. I'm not telling you to leave him. I think that's your choice. You already said everybody on YouTube has told you to leave him. It's easier said than done. What is it worth to you? How is it serving you to continue to be quiet, to continue to settle? You deserve, if you want marriage, then make sure that you're with somebody that will make you a wife, not a common law wife. We don't grow up as little girls with the dream of becoming somebody's common law wife. I just want to be a common law wife. That's not sexy. When somebody's not offering you what you know you deserve, reject that offer. I want more, so you're not ready to be in a relationship until you are willing to walk away. When you're so desperate to have anything, you know what men give you? Anything. But when you say, no, I want to be a wife someday, I want somebody to stand up for me, it's because you didn't put your foot down. That's how things got out of control. Because what you mean 8 years in the game, you just now finding out that his mom is the #1 woman in his life and that you'll never be. You got to put your foot down. You got to set some boundaries and say, you know what? Your mother is way too into our business. Like, I feel like it's me, you, and her. You, me, and she. What you gonna do? Like, it's just too many of y'all. It's too crowded. The mother-in-law needs to get a life, and possibly her own man, because she has too much free time to be meddling in your life. Anyway, alright, so I love you guys, and I can't wait to hear your feedback and your advice. Be sure to tell me in the comment section. Do you have an overbearing mother-in-law? Have you ever been with a mama's boy? Did you marry a mama's boy? How that worked out for you? I'd love to hear your stories. I'm sure the writer of the letter would love to hear how your stories are as well. So be sure to put it in the comment section. Let's get a good dialogue going. I love talking to you guys back and forth in the comment section. So let's get everything started, alright? Be sure to check out my book. It's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. It's on CreateSpace, Amazon, and now available in Kindle format. And I look forward to seeing all of you ladies who are coming to my Dating with a Purpose lunch. I will see you on August the 1st, and I am so excited. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey. Can't raise a man, he's already grown. What you gonna do?